Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm the encourager, and I want to see what's going on today. Yeah, let's see what's going on. I keep seeing something about depression. There was something else going on. The grandmothers are around, offering strength, spiritual strength. There's some sort of maybe a decision or something to do with the couple wanting to get married or considering walking down this path together here. But there's the grandmothers on each side. They're different backgrounds. One's more spiritual wealth and royalty, and the other side has physical wealth. And so there's something going on with the background of each of these individuals. There's something in the background. So this house on this side, the big house, and this one's more of a narrower, long, maybe a train even. So one side may have, but the roots are deep here. I see roots and I see keys. I see keys over here. Never even saw those keys before. There's keys in the grass, in the land. And, oh yeah, well, no, keys over here. Keys on the male side. There are some keys, huge keys here. And this side is yet to be seen here. I see something forming, but I don't know what it is. It's both light and dark, though. So spiritual, right? On the female side here is the shadow and then the lighter part. And look, I didn't even realize. Oh, that's her head, but I thought I saw the moon. And this side, there's keys in this grass here. So there's a key here. Now I see a line down the road. I didn't see the line. I only saw the white bird. Now I see a line. They want to cross the line or travel down this line in the road. Yeah, they want to cross it. It's a door to value here. And on this side, spiritual knowledge, dreams. There's lots of tools in this belt here. That is the Four of Knives, which is air. That is like Gemini energy, but it's an air sign. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. So there's some balancing here, but this person is taking a rest and thinking back. I hear thinking back on when I was a little nappy-headed boy. Mama told me not to go outside, but he went outside anyway for this whole thing, fun. I wish those days could come back once more. How did those days ever? And I love them so. I don't know. That's Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder, that's a song in the key of life, pretty sure. Music is like the background music of our lives, you know. A song can come on and you can be triggered and go back in time. And this is what we're doing now. There's something going on back in time. And our ancestors are trying to give us something. Somebody saw something. This bishop here, Basin, saw something. Saw a ghost. He saw the Holy Ghost. And then there's the family. Somebody's really stressed out about this. This boy's a hearer. He's got a gift of hearing. He can hear spirits. So that may be him resting and then hearing emotions, water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Hearing a call, maybe hearing the call of growth. There's flowers in here. We're hearing the call from the ancestors, and maybe hearing about their past struggle, maybe hearing about this is causing depression, because this is the thing, there's some depression. Well, here's another 9. So nine's ending. This is it's ending, and it's ending in victory. Okay, here's Temperance, Father Sims, alchemizing this past. The past is being alchemized. There's this, the White House, but the black, shadowing, like having to alchemize the past. This is and wishing and hoping, planting these seeds, even though, so this person has invested a lot, but there is still hope here. Well, that along with Father Sims there, something's about to break. Something's about to break. Now, which side, though? Which side? Somebody's been working really, really hard with these marigold, these flowers, all those coins in his hat. Very hard worker, very detailed, very sharp, very neat. Attention to detail, keeping those books accurate. And the sun is bursting through, showing them something in here. Showing. So something was alchemized from the past in that shabby little house. Maybe the spiritual side, maybe both of it now merging together. Working together, balancing this out, working through these issues, caused to find spiritual strength, how strong you really, really, really were and are. Somebody saw and they couldn't believe it. Someone said something they saw, they just could not believe it. Like, okay. They saw an ancestor. They saw, here's the magic. What? They saw maybe something in the water. Because this was, in this water has many an ancestor traveled to get to the other side. Some didn't make it, some did. And this man is thinking about that. And he probably saw. He's a seer. He probably didn't even know he had these. Independently, a healer, didn't know, could see that somebody was lying about being stuck. Somebody is lying about being stuck. They have these powers. Somebody is lying about it, but it's coming out now. The lies are coming out. At a certain time, here's another son. There's a few sons. And this person's mother is saying, okay, come on, which cycle? What do you want? You want to come? She takes information These are moon cycles. She helps. This person is saying this date, so maybe the sun is helping too. Maybe this is a family business or something. But this is coins and this is baskets. So the money, maybe helping. Okay, the money cycle. This is when I can pay her. This is when the harvest is out that you're saying. And she's like, yes, this is when I can do it. And here the flowers here. I don't know. Your dreams are filled with important messages right now. Something about the dreams. Maybe this is all a dream. And there's something you need to take action on. Something's about to break. This luck. It's about to have you sitting high. The Wheel of Fortune. Something you heard. Maybe you took action on it. Maybe a gamble or something you took a gamble on, or it's the stock market is on this side of the door to value. Okay. Take those how it resonates, okay? Channeling. But I'm going to read about this depression because I had pulled out these sheets and I went through shuffle, 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 stepped on this page, and I have never seen this page before, and it's moments of elevation and depression. New levels, new devils. Every time, I guess, you ascend and go somewhere else, it gets kind of lonely, and maybe you look back and you can be kind of depressed because you feel who's here with you or whatever, but it's temporary, okay? And then I had to go in the room. I pushed the wrong button. The whole other previous video was deleted. Okay. And then I somehow went to this page here. When it's just, I think the author, it's about the author's prologue. And I saw here the word depressed. So it says, okay. This is a measure of relief came finally when my husband and I realized rather suddenly one day that I was in truth depressed. Not unaffectionate or uninterested or withdrawn, though certainly I was all of those things, but depressed. There was a word for it. From time to time, my co-author and friend, John Rady, reminds me about the drawbacks of labels, how a psychiatric term can box a person in. Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. I know he's right, but I am here to tell you when the label fits, it can be a blessing, and that's true also. I like to give things a word, a name, so I can pray against it. You know, when something doesn't have a name and you don't know how to describe it, you can still pray about it because you know, it's like whatever it is, Father, you know what it is. I don't have a word, but when you have a word for it, it builds a sort of confidence more to your prayer because you have something to cast down, a word to call it, you know. But then you need to take you take your power out of the word. That word, you don't let that word like cancer. Okay. Because I didn't know what it was. So if it's cancer, bitch, we going to pray against cancer. Okay. We're going to see every cell, whatever color it was supposed to be, that's the color we're going to see. The other colors, we're going to pop that out. And then beautiful colored rainbow pus is going to come out and heal up everything. You know what I mean? You get to be able to work with that. Bring a value to that. Whatever the word is, that it is. Okay? You're going to hear it differently. And then you're going to speak differently. You're going to speak life. Oh, okay? Yeah, you're going to speak life. That's how you transmute. That's how you transmute. Okay? This. Alchemize. transmute is to take these things together and making something great with it, okay? Alchemizing negative and positive to make electricity. You know, alchemizing cake mix, cake to, I'm sorry, to make, let's say a cake or biscuits or whatever, to have the flour and the sugar and the baking powder and the butter and all the things that it takes, the pan, the you know, the ingredients, you know, to alchemize it and make it into a one solid yummy. Yeah. It's a gift and it's doable. Okay, all you need is the know-how and or the time to learn it. A new skill, a new skill that can also be in that book. That young wife could be learning the traditions of her husband's side, you know, making him food, you know, learning, alchemizing each situation that comes up, you know. So anyway, there's something about depression, so we just need the skills to combat it. When you feel depressed, you don't stay there. You get up, you move. I saw also praise dance. Just get up and start dancing, moving. Move your hips. Move your hips. That helps with the whole sacral and the root area to get the movement, get in, and get flow in there. So you gotta move. Sometimes you just have to move. Sometimes you have to sit down, but not for long. It's time to get up after a certain while. But you have to be into, okay? So maybe it's time for that in that period of time to relax, to lay back, and let God minister to you, or to you to dream. When you dream, you know, you go many places and you can bring back wonderful information that can bring in abundance. Okay? This is all over the place. Just take it how it resonates, okay? Whenever I look back at my videos, I can always put together like, oh, that was that, you know? And then if I do, I'll try to leave in the comments the other things that I saw that maybe I didn't see when I was in the reading or giving the messages, let's say. But we're going to read this now, okay? Where are these glasses? I saw, oh, here they are. I see them, and then when I'm looking for them, I don't see them. Let me cleanse these. Whew, okay. 18:10 on the clock. 10:38 on the time clock. Ding. All right, Cosmic Flashes, page 58, number 57, Moments of Elevation and Depression. Don't sigh in moments of darkness when misery faces you. Even wings of the mystics are tired when shadows of misery surround them. But the saints' shadows realize they are that come and pass and fade as the tortoise withdraws its limbs. In the inner center, saints wait. In the inner centers abiding, they wait till danger is past, to soar high into regions of rapture, now won at last. I'm getting hot right now. Wait a minute. Mystics and saints have soared high into the regions of the formless in their moments of ecstasy and rapture, but they cannot stay there forever. When their wings are tired, they come down and they too have their moments of sadness and sorrow. I realize that's a 4, and then there's a 4. So this person is making a wish. Here. They were tired. It's time to rest. They were out. They heard things. They're alchemizing. They're working on themselves. mystics and saints have soared high into the regions of the formless in their moments of ecstasy and rapture. But they cannot stay there forever. When their wings are tired, they come down, and they too have their moments of sadness and sorrow. In the face of cruelty, injustice, corruption, and misery, they too have their sufferings. Ooh. Thus, in every life, there are moments of elevation and inspiration, as well as moments of darkness and misery. But there is a difference between the sage and the man of the world. And the man of the world sure is. This could be the man of the world, you know, working so hard on the things of the world. Even this. This. The world puts you up there, then they can take you down. The sage looks at the phenomena of life perched on the pedestal of his social poise. Oh, of his soul poise. Sorry, this is like in the cut here. The sage looks at the phenomena of life perched on the pedestal of his soul poise and equanimity. Equality and equanimity. When misery and suffering face him, at once he realizes them as passing shadows, which are worth not any attention. Quickly, he withdraws himself into his own inner center. The socialist, the not, oculus, the nucleus of his soul, and there he abides untouched by outward influence, like a tortoise which withdraws all its limbs into its shell in face of danger, and only comes out when that danger is past. Amen. So there's times when you have to, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There were 20 times to count it when the meeting's done. Ooh, let me now look at this. I'm not going to focus on the things of this world. My hair is in it, but not of it right now. Because I keep sweating it out, child. Cut it off. All right. Sometimes you just got to cut it off. Okay? For whatever reason. Because you elevate. Okay? Sometimes you just cut off stuff that might be holding you down. Okay? I don't know. That's for somebody. But thus, in every life, there are moments of elevation and inspiration, as well as moments of darkness and misery. But there is a difference between the sage and the man of the world. You can't say that you're in this world, not of it, further making this a place called hell. The sage looks at the phenomena of life perched on a pedestal of his soul poise and equanimity. When misery and suffering face him, because the rain falls on the just and the unjust. Rain falls on everyone. I mean, every once in a while you can see a soup like, oh, it's no rain right there. Or when these fires happen in Pasadena, there were certain a house or two that didn't touch and every house around it did. I mean, that's like, you know, that's a phenomenon. So, equally, on a pedestal of his soul poised in equanimity, when misery and suffering face him, at once he realizes them and passes as passing shadows, which are worth not any attention. Quickly, he withdraws himself into his own center, the nucleus of his soul, and there he abides untouched by outward influence, like the tortoise, which withdraws all its limbs into its shell and faces of danger. So you ain't no punk with if you know, withdraw. You're smart. You're a dumbass if you go out there and go ahead and fight and then you end up not coming home or you hurt somebody or something. No, go home and live to fight days using this, using your mind, writing, and using your emotions, writing it out, using it in positive ways that is uplifting and that helps others. And let the people lift you up, you know, and not, and more like not so for your ego, but for the betterment of humanity. You know, God's work. I meant to pull out. So I guess she's doing God's work. This is the divine feminine. There's the divine feminine doing God's work. These grandmothers, right? They're here. Mother Earth is alchemizing and changing the door value of showing what real value is. Foundational value. Change is here. This book of wisdom is even being upgraded. Upgraded in a certain moon cycle. The cycle around the sun. Something about around the sun. Scorpio and Scorpio season. So just after Libra season and Scorpio season hit, there's something on the almanac calendar. Something's gonna happen, and I don't really even know what the almanac is. I think it's about farming though. There's something something that was planted that's out being alchemized now that's going to show up in November. Maybe something will be ending November's court. So there's something justice system, something after the justice is handed. Then November there's the door to values opening here. Take that how it resonates, okay? 58, 57, 28, 41, 1049, 622, 2025, 69 Fahrenheit. Like, share, and subscribe, okay? That was a lot of something, huh? What was that? Let me know if anything resonated in the comments. Thank you.